name is JoJo McDaniel, and I am here to talk about what kind of day we are having. Let's start by imagining a morning I had recently. I woke up late, so my mom is rushing me immediately. We were out of my favorite breakfast. As we were walking out the door, we realized my backpack is in my dad's car, which is at work with him. I get to school, find out that one of my favorite teachers is gone. My classes were all messed up because my books were gone. Now, that day was what most people would call a bad day, but here's the thing. God created that day, and God does not create bad days. I had to decide, was I going to choose to have a bad day, or choose to see the good day that God created for us? Romans 12:2 tells us not to be conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The renewing of our minds is key here. We all have things put on us that we are not happy about. But we have to be careful about what we say and even think when those things happen. We have to renew our minds and be transformed. One of the biggest things we have to be careful of is looking like a hypocrite. I see so many social media posts saying, #blessed or #Jesus. Or maybe we sing songs crying out to God about how thankful we are. But then we turn around and complain. We whine about our homework. We complain about dinner. We argue about rules we don't agree with. We fuss when we have to stop doing something fun. Kids complain, adults complain, students complain, I complain, you complain. We, God's people, complain constantly on social media, at school, at work, on our phones, or even just in our minds. Oh, but then we have #all-for-him or #blessed. I am sorry to say it, but if we are speaking the truth today, we have all been hypocrites. We must get ourselves in check. We must set a better example. And James 1:2-4 says this, "My brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness." Paul is my favorite example of this. His joy was deep enough to survive and thrive in prison. He rejoiced in the message about Christ, regardless of how he felt about it. In 2 Corinthians 7:4 says, "I am greatly encouraged. In all of our troubles, my joy knows no bounds." Okay, JoJo, I get it. So what can I do to fix this? First off, start your day with him. Get yourself sorted before anything can go wrong. Decide to have a good day. God made it. Secondly, every time we think of something negative, stop and thank God for something. Count your blessings. My mom made us do that when we were little, and I got so mad, but it works. It's not just this nice little song, there's a psychological thing going on there. People must see the joy that fills us up, but first, we have to let ourselves be filled with joy. And that's a choice. Choose to be filled with joy. Finally, keep in mind that Jesus is the only person who can say he had a bad day. He suffered so much for us. There is something I want to focus on. In the Garden of Gethsemane, on the day of his death, Jesus was asking God for the strength to do the right thing. He was not complaining that he had to die or how he had to suffer. He was asking God for help, which is what we should be doing. Hebrews 12:2 tells us that Jesus is the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. If Jesus could have that kind of day and still proclaim the victory of salvation, who are we to whine about anything? Ladies and gentlemen, as God's people, we must stop acting like a bunch of complaining Israelites in the wilderness and actually thank God for something. He gave his son for us, and even though none of us deserve it, and we can't make it one whole day without whining about something. Surely we can all make an effort to be less petty. So for anyone who has ever posted #blessed, worn a Christian shirt, or maybe sung a God song, let's remember that those words mean something. The cross means something. We are blessed. So what kind of day will you have today? Thank you.